Formula One may be known as the Billionaire Boys Club, but not every driver on the grid was handed a golden ticket. Some of them clawed their way up from nothing, fueled by sheer grit and talent, while others cruised into the sport on waves of unimaginable wealth. Today, we're uncovering the shocking and dramatic stories of the most contrasting drivers in Formula One history. Rags to riches and riches to, well, more riches. Stick around because this ride is about to get intense. Kimi Räikkönen, from forest to fame. Imagine growing up in a home so small it could barely fit your family, and where your neighbors included wolves and bears. That was Kimi Räikkönen's reality. The Iceman's childhood in rural Finland was far from glamorous. His family's house, hand-built by his great-grandfather, didn't even have indoor plumbing. Yet even in these harsh conditions, Kimi's love for speed was undeniable. At 3 years old, he tore through the Finnish forests on a tiny motocross bike. By 10, he was karting competitively, showing flashes of the talent that would later make him a world champion. But this success came at a steep cost, financially and emotionally. Kimi's father juggled 3 jobs, the family traveled in a battered van, and every weekend was a battle to afford the basics. One winter, the family almost gave up when their van broke down on the way to a race. But Kimi insisted they push on, literally. That same weekend, he won the race. The sacrifices paid off, but the scars of those early struggles remain, even in his ice-cool demeanor today. Lewis Hamilton, racing against all odds.
Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix and is a 7-time champion of...
Lewis Hamilton's story is nothing short of legendary. Growing up in Stevenage, England, Lewis didn't have the luxury of wealth. His father, Anthony, worked multiple jobs, sometimes as many as 4 at once, to fund Lewis's karting dreams. At just 8 years old, Lewis showed the world what he was made of, dominating the karting scene despite facing not only financial challenges, but also racial prejudice. He recalls arriving at tracks with second-hand equipment, while others had shiny new karts. Yet race after race, Lewis silenced his critics with pure talent. But the real drama came when his family was on the brink of financial collapse. Anthony Hamilton had already mortgaged their house and was falling behind on payments. Just when it seemed like Lewis's dream might end, he caught the eye of McLaren's Ron Dennis, who saw the future world champion in him. That sponsorship saved Lewis's career, and the rest, as they say, is history. Lance Stroll, the billionaire's son. While Lewis and Kimi fought against the odds, Lance Stroll had all the odds stacked in his favor. As the son of billionaire Lawrence Stroll, Lance had access to resources that most drivers could only dream of. Before he even stepped into an F1 car, Lance's father invested $60 million into the Prima racing team to ensure Lance's success in junior categories. And if that wasn't enough, Lawrence paid Williams a staggering $80 million to secure Lance a Formula One seat. But here's where it gets even crazier. When Lance faced challenges in his F1 career, his father bought an entire team. Aston Martin Racing exists today because Lawrence wanted to give his son a platform to shine. While Lance has had some moments of brilliance on track, his journey shows the undeniable power of money in F1. Sebastian Vettel, from small towns to stardom. Before he became a 4-time world champion, Sebastian Vettel was just a small-town boy from Heppenheim, Germany. His family wasn't rich, but they weren't poor either. They were middle class, and every penny they spent on Sebastian's racing was a risk. At 8 years old, Sebastian started karting, often racing against kids with far better equipment. But what he lacked in resources, he made up for with relentless determination. One pivotal moment came during a rainy karting race when Sebastian, with inferior wet weather tires, pulled off a shocking victory, beating drivers with far better setups. Seb's family knew they had something special. They poured everything into his career, often skipping vacations and luxuries to fund his dreams. Red Bull eventually noticed his talent, and the rest is history. From humble beginnings, Vettel became a legend, but he's never forgotten his roots. Esteban Ocon, racing for survival. Esteban Ocon's story is one of the most heartbreaking and inspiring tales in F1. His parents sold their home and garage to fund his karting career, living in a caravan and putting everything on the line for their son's dream. Every race wasn't just about winning, it was about survival. Ocon recalls nights spent fixing his kart with his father, knowing that one mechanical failure could end their journey. After years of sacrifice and struggle, Ocon's talent was finally recognized, and he secured a seat in F1. Today, every lap he drives is a tribute to the family that gave up everything for him. Fernando Alonso, sewing suits and slick tires. Fernando Alonso's rise to fame wasn't handed to him. It was stitched together, quite literally. Born to a working-class family in Spain, Fernando's mother hand-sewed his racing suits, while his father doubled as his mechanic. They couldn't afford proper wet-weather tires, so Fernando raced on slicks in the rain, a disadvantage that would have crushed most drivers. But not Alonso. He adapted, learned, and outdrove competitors with far better equipment. By 7, Fernando was already a karting champion. A local track owner noticed his raw talent and helped him secure sponsorships, setting him on the path to F1 greatness. Alonso's story is a reminder that passion and talent can overcome even the toughest odds. From Lewis Hamilton's relentless fight against adversity to Lance Stroll's golden path paved by billions, the Formula One grid is a patchwork of stories, some inspiring, some shocking, but all unforgettable. Which of these journeys resonates with you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more F1 stories that will leave you on the edge of your seat.